good morning children. How are you all? Okay. So, today let's start with, one second, let me go for the topic, the living world. Topic here is the diversity in the living world. What does the topic say now? Diversity. What is diversity? Diversity, yes, lot of different kinds of animals, plants are present. Now suppose I ask you people to make a list of animals and plants found here in the surrounding, you may be able to list out some 200 to 300 only, not more than that. So this, that too it is found only in this area. Suppose you go to some other part of the city or some other part of the state or some other part of the country, then you find different kinds of animals, plants, or you go out of the country, you find hundreds and hundreds, billions of animals and plants. So it is called the diversity in the living being. What are we going to study in this now? Okay, we are going to study about the cellular organization. In this, what is the diversity? Then taxonomic categories. Taxonomic categories, you can see here how the animals and plants are all classified. All the living beings, it's not only the animals, not only the plants, all the living beings are classified, and there is a hierarchy which is now kingdom. It starts with kingdom, or you can take from the bottom also. It can be species, it can be genus, next order is the family, then order, then class and phylum, kingdom. Or if you go down, then it will be kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. Is it difficult to memorize this? Then we can all do one small trick with this. What is the trick? We can all allot a kind of common words. It may be your favorite cricketer, say Kohli is your favorite cricketer. Start with Kohli, then give him some other activity which makes the entire sentence involving each one. Suppose I say Kohli. P for now place. C for cricket. Then on. O for on. A flat. G for ground, on flat grounds. Suppose I take this now. Now you can see K for kingdom, P for phylum, C for class, O for order, F for family, and G for genus, and finally S is for species. Won't it become easy now? It's easy for us to remember now. This sentence, if you remember, this hierarchy can be easily remembered now. Then we are going to study what are species here, what are genus, what is a family. So let's go one by one. What is cellular organization? What is a cell? Can anyone tell me? Last time we had discussed that all the living beings are made of cells, which is a definite characteristic of any living being. In non-living beings, you never find a cell. Now, a cell may have, see, every organism is made up of single cell, or it can be multicellular also. Cellular organization is a defining feature of the living organisms. Means what? In the cells, you find lot of organelles that you are going to study as a different chapter now. But in this, suppose I take only one cell which is found only in certain living beings like say amoeba, paramecium, or some other lower classes of animals now. But in case of multicellular animals, suppose we have, do we have only one cell now? We have millions and millions of cells now. These cells, they have an organization. What is the organization now? They are all grouped together to form a tissue. When all the cells, different types of cells, there are again, cells which are different in shape, size and the function. So this is actually a basic unit of life. But when we have, say, supposing our own body which is made of lots of cells, but not all the cells are similar in their size, shape or function. So how do we find all the cells which are grouped together to have a particular function? What is a function? Now there are hundreds of functions in the body, and each cell has got a different, each group of cell has got a different function now. So tissues are groups of similar cells performing similar functions now. Suppose I take blood now. Is blood made of only one cell now? Or suppose I take skin now. Is skin made of only one type of cell now? No. They are all made of different types of cells which are grouped together, but they have only function which are similar. All the skin cells, they have a similar function of covering the entire body from outside, even from inside. So this is what we find, and now we'll see what is there in. So a cell is a unit. Groups of cells form tissues, and groups of tissues form organs. Now suppose you take your own hand now. When you take your own hand now, you can see, what do you find outside? You find the skin. Okay, you find skin. Now this skin, it covers the outside, gives protection. That's one of the function of the skin. Then what do you find inside again, when you just probe inside now, you find just touch it and see, you find the muscles now. Then again, what else do you find? You find the bones also. Suppose, you have seen that blood is also there, which is found in all the body parts now. So you have nerves, you have bones. So all these are different tissues which makes the organ. Hand is an organ now. That organ which has got 5 different tissues now. So an organ is a structure composed of 2 or more different types of tissues that work together for a special function. Now it may look a little difficult for you to repeat this, but remember, just place your hand and say, what is my hand now? It's an organ. Or what is my leg? It's an organ. What is my eye? It's an organ. So what are they made of? They are made of different types of tissues. It may be skin, it can be muscle, it can be a bone, it can be blood. So they are made of different types of tissues. But what is the function now? They all have the same function now. Means, suppose I want to write now, all of them have to cooperate. The muscle tissue cannot say that it's not my work. The bone tissue may not say that, it should not say that that is not my function. So they all work together for a specific function. Then organs join to form organ system. Now suppose I take our digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system. There are so many systems in our body. Now, do you think the digestive system has got only one organ? What may be the organs in our digestive system? Let me know from you people. Yes, the digestive system may start with the mouth. Mouth is an organ now. Then inside you find the the tongue, the buccal cavity, and then as you go inside you find the esophagus, and then you find the stomach, you find the intestine. All these organs, so many organs I name now, they form organ system. A group of 2 or more organs that work together to perform specific function. All of them work for one cause. What is that now? Digesting the food. That is, these are all organs which support the digestion. Next, all these organ systems will, with all this, what will I become now? I become a living being, an organism. So, now if I go from this side to this side now, organism is composed of many organ systems. Organ systems are composed of many organs. Organs are made of tissues, and tissues are made of groups of cells. Either way, it's the same. So, we can again go back and say, see, in any unicellular organisms, we may not have so many complications. One cell is able to perform all the functions. There are certain living beings which have only certain tissues only. Even there is the same thing. But as you go higher up in complicated or in little higher animals and plants, you find all this which is called the cellular organization. I hope you understood this now. Okay, we can go to the next. Now all these living beings, the living beings are all grouped, classified. Now you can see in the picture there, the background, you find in plants, Plantae, Animalia, Fungi, Protista, Monera. These are the 5 diversity. That is, biodiversity is a term used to the number of varieties of plants and animals in the region of Earth. You find Earth is full of living beings, but which are all diverse. There are hundreds and thousands of, that is, see, the number of species known is 1.7 to 1.8 million. Yet to be found, there are so many others which are not discovered, but there are. In papers you must have seen now, it keeps coming that there are certain species which are waiting for their turn to get classified, because it is a huge task. In this earth you find so many living beings which are not yet discovered properly, named properly, or classified properly. So what is the need for classification? Such a huge number is there. There is a need for classification. Living organisms are all classified into categories so that they can be named, they can be remembered, studied and understood easily. Why should you make a classification? We have to remember them. We have to study them. As I told you in the last class, that all the living beings cannot be studied simply haphazardly. It has to be done in a systematic way. They have to be studied and understood easily. So, this is what is a diversity, the living beings. Now, what is the naming now? Now, all living beings are given, according to biologists, they are all named. What is the name now? There is a standard name. Say, need to standardize name of organisms. Why? So, you call dog in English. In your own language, it can be called by other names, like it can be in Hindi, it can be a kutta, or in Kannada it can be a nai. In so many other languages we have different names for the dog. But when all the population in the world speaking different languages, can they understand because it should be understood by others also. So for that reason they are named same all over the world. Now if I call man, man is a name given to human beings now in English, but if you go to Japan they don't speak English. So even in China the same problem. If you say man, they may not understand. So a different name is given to man, which is now that's what we are going to see now. This is nomenclature is naming, standard names, naming of living beings, which is a standard naming of living beings. Now for that we have there is a code, that is international ICBN. You can see here I is for international, code for botanical nomenclature. We may have ICZN. ICZN is same thing, holds good for this also, but here we have zoological nomenclature. And we may have for virus also, we may have the same thing, ICVN. So this is what is called based on the principle and criteria of ICBN. The naming is done with this principle. Okay, we'll go for the next now. Now two names are given. When two names are given, it's called binomial nomenclature. What is two? Binomial is two names. Nomenclature is naming any living being with two names. So each name has got two components. One is the genus, another is the species. So if I take the name of mango, becomes Mangifera indica. You can see, observe the first letter of a genus is in capital, Mangifera. Then comes the species name. So Mangifera is the genus, indica is the species name. Okay, here it's given genus, species name. So we can see this is how the name is given. Okay, what are the rules for nomenclature? Biological names are generally derived from Latin and written in italics. Italics is not written in normal way that you write. So indica. So it's a small letter. The first word represents a genus, like I said. The second word denotes the specific epithet, means name only, nothing else but name. Okay. Rules of nomenclature. Both words in biological name should be underlined if handwritten and italics if printed. Both the names, if I write Homo sapiens, see my Homo is the genus, Homo sapiens, this is in capital, sapiens is the species. This should be underlined if it is written in hand, or else in italics if printed. So the first word denoting genus start with a capital letter. This you have to remember. That is a rule. And the specific name of the species should start with a small letter. Sorry, it looks like capital for you. So I think I'll just write species. So do you remember Homo sapiens or any binomial nomenclature? You can say that it has two names, one with genus, another with species name. And the the genus will start with the capital letter and the species will start with small letter. So